The following is an actual play D&D podcast featuring comedians and improvisers in the great state of Vermont. Welcome to Improvised Weapons. Last time on Improvised Weapons.
And then you promptly leave town.
You sound like our kind of candidate.
Welcome! We're running for mayor. This fine fellow here is running for mayor.
Equine nepotism.
Oh no, Cassian's acidic spit strikes again.
That's a great, jerkin.
I call to the trees.
You know how babies are always bruised,
Yeah.
right?
Because Beatrice and Claude deserve a head.
Arrow hits you just sort of in like your back meat.
Now I'm angry. I rage.
You stab him right through the back meat, and it comes right out his front meat.
Ayo.
Win. That may be the dumbest thing we've come up with on this podcast so far.
Hello, friends. Did you catch our interview with Doug from Victory Condition Gaming? A lot of fun stuff and some exclusive reveals on there. So check it out on the interwebs. You can find links to it on our Twitter and Facebook, or you can just search for Victory Condition Gaming on YouTube. We answer the important questions, like who would win a mayonnaise drinking contest. CarnageCon is fast approaching. Our live shows are on Friday, November 3rd at 7 and 9, and each one will be unique, so stay for both. Pre-registration for the con is closed, but walk-up registration begins at noon on November 3rd, so you can still come party with us. Hey, we want you there, you want to be there, it's a match made in the positive section of the afterlife. Now, at the end of the last episode, we promised you spooky. And now, we bring in that spooky. Let's hit it and crit it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Improvised Weapons. Party's on the road. They have left Stone's Throw. They're moving on up to that deluxe condo in Bastafiere.
It's our next tour date. It's our next tour date out there.
And they have, so they've set off. They've bested a group of highwaymen that had accosted them, killing some of them, leaving some of them naked, but making back all of the money they had spent on oxen, horses, and wagon. So they come out very positive on the whole deal, which was great. They bed down for the night, and we pick up now with them on their second day of travel. What kind of pace do you guys want to keep?
Breakneck.
Disagree.
No.
No, I think there's no reason for us to risk exhaustion. If it's going to take 6 days' time at a normal pace to reach Bastafiere, I say let's do it in 6 days, right?
Let's enjoy the ride and see the scenery and really take it all in.
I have a question about
We could
topography.
write songs.
Yes.
Are we passing through Blackbeak to get to Bastafiere, or sort of by?
You don't have to go through the town. There are roads that you can take that would put you going directly through the town that Blackbeak is in.
Yeah.
But it's not so far off the beaten path that it would be like an imposition for you to travel that way.
Great.
So you want to stop by the academy on that?
Yeah, let's stop by the academy.
Okay.
I'll give you a tour of the old ivy-strewn halls. Is that the word for it? Ivy-strewn people?
Sure,
Strewn
they're just throwing ivy around. That's how they celebrate.
It's like Mardi Gras in there, but they don't use beads,
right?
they use ivy.
Yeah, not poison ivy.
Everyone's just very itchy.
Yes. It's a lot of rashes, a lot of just calamine lotion.
let's
stop
keep
by
going.
there. I'm
Okay.
very interested to see where you've learned your trade.
Especially since you signed her papers finally. She can actually go back and show it off.
Yeah, I could meet with your advisor and give you a personal recommendation.
Sure. Well, let's head off. I'm sure we've got a little bit of traveling left to do before we pass by, or are we pretty
Yes,
close?
yeah, you're not too close
Nothing
yet.
happened
so.
at night.
No, the night was uneventful. The skies stayed clear, not nary a cloud in sight.
Did I wake up with anything in my hair?
I may or may not have made a small necklace of like grasses and stuff into a kind of a weaving little basket in the front.
Okay.
Okay, so Aaeowyn, you do wake up with a small grass basket in your hair.
I take it out.
Also, before I leave, I found like a big tree that was like prominent around the campsite, and I tack up one of my little pamphlets.
Thanks, Martin Luther. So, you are leaving the breadcrumbs of your travel, and you pack up camp, pack up everything in the wagon, douse the fire, and start on your way for day number 2.
And as we're traveling, Cassian is strumming his mandolin and singing little more bits from the Horse Puncher song. He's making.
Is there like a
Cassian was their leader. He was handsome, rich, and skilled. Aaeowyn was a student mage who had prerequisites to fill. Olash, strong and famous, quick to jam but slow to kill. Yarfik, who's a prophet, but only when there's ale to swill. As the travelers were carousing, they were confronted by the steed. As it charged at them, its eyes were filled with malice, spite, and greed. Its heart had been corrupted by its master's tyranny. But Yarfik struck a fearsome blow and swore to set the townsfolk free. Horse puncher! Horse puncher!
Horse puncher.
He likes to drink and he likes to fight and he always stands up for what's right.
So you're picking out your tune. Are you tambouring along?
I'm speaking tambourine.
Fluently.
And towards the end you go, not you, Daybreak. Not you, Daybreak. You're good.
So yeah, you're noodling around and figuring out new verses and trying to figure out the rhymes for everything and like taking notes, periodically
On
as you go
horseback
along.
or
On
something,
horseback,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, you're not traveling so fast that's a huge imposition, and the road is in good shape at this point, so it's not like cobblestone or anything.
I'm practicing my cantrips.
Did anyone else want to drive?
No.
Okay.
You called it, man. This is...
All right, I'm driving.
So you're driving, you're practicing your cantrips. Cassian and Olash are jamming from horse to wagon, and you travel along. The weather starts to shift a little bit. There's clouds rolling in from the west, so it's getting a little bit darker, even though it's like mid-morning. There's sort of a mist on the ground almost. It's getting cooler out as well. It's probably going to start raining at some point. It's not raining yet, but it looks like rain.
Cassian, if you want to touch Daybreak up, you can come on onto the cabin here, and we can keep you nice and dry.
Sure, no reason to get damper than I need to. Yeah, I hop into the wagon with them.
How damp do you need to get? Do I want to know? There's a better question.
It's all about humidity with the playing the lute strings.
Yes.
Actually, while I'm in the wagon, I'm gonna ask Aaeowyn to show me her light cantrip. I want to try and learn how to cast light. You have that one, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because someone can't see in the dark.
Grab a small pebble or something.
I look around. I just take out one of the gold pieces that we stole from the robbers.
I flick it.
Oh, but that's not all, right? There's magical energy.
Would you
It doesn't matter.
turn that down? I can't see where I'm driving
There's
back
no
here.
real... Oh, sorry. It must look like headlights. No, I don't have a real word for it. I'm not a teacher. I just know how to do things. God, basically, you... Oh, jeez. You channel... You... And I flick it again.
Okay, I'm just gonna watch you do it a few times.
So you guys keep going with this trying. Every time Aaeowyn does it, Cassian follows up and tries to do it on it again.
On the same piece, and it just
on the
goes
same
out.
piece. And it's not it's not working. But you're giving it the good old college try. Like you're definitely trying. It may perhaps it will happen for you at some point in the future. But everything starts with a small step. As you continue to travel, let's get some perception checks.
Ooh, nat one.
Oh, my.
Yarfik
Nat
is like,
20.
where are the oxen? Nat 20,
Nice.
5, 11.
Oh, 7, actually.
7, doesn't matter. So as you're traveling along, Yarfik, you're like practically falling asleep. The oxen are following the road, so you don't really need to worry about them, but you're pretty oblivious to what's going on around you.
Like you're on the highway, we just forget where you're driving.
Yeah, you're in like highway coma mode. Yeah. But Olash, since you've stopped speaking tambourine, and Cassian and Aaeowyn are sort of quietly like focused on trying to teach Cassian how to do this light spell, it's quiet now. You hear just sort of like the sound of the wagon wheels turning and the sound of the yokes on the oxen just sort of lolling back and forth. There's really not much else until you hear this sort of mournful wailing and crying. And as you continue to travel in the direction you guys are going on the road, it's getting louder. It still sounds like it's somewhat far off. Like it's probably not on the road itself, so it's probably off the beaten path to a certain extent, but it definitely sounds like someone is very sad.
Did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Hear what?
I don't know.
Were you not paying attention to the road?
No,
We're
no.
in a ditch. we roll onto the rumble ditch and it just starts going.
Don't assume my driving prowess.
I love the infrastructure in this, this country.
The rumble strips.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the
hear it when we
Eisenhower pathways.
stop? When we stop to listen for it, do we hear it?
Yeah, once Olash points it out, you guys can all hear this mournful wailing as well.
I feel like you'd definitely be interested in adopting a highway, the Von Daemos.
Oh my gosh, yes, if that's an option.
Yeah, no, we do hear the wailing once she stopped us and pointed it out.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's just all this fog and mist, but it sounds sinister to me.
I think it sounds mournful and baleful, personally.
Yeah, but there's a lot of ghosts and things that sound mournful and baleful.
And you've got me along with you. There's no ghost that'll touch you.
I
that true?
disagree.
They don't weigh anything. I can lift them up.
Well, that's what you
You'd
thought
have
about
to be
that
able-
halfling
You'd have to be
yesterday.
able to touch it to lift it, Yarfik.
I mean, I suppose we should investigate being heroes and all. We shouldn't let the possibility of an innocent creature being in distress pass us by.
Does it sound
guess-
humanoid or does it sound...
It sounds humanoid. It just sounds like, I mean, as you're getting closer to sort of where you think it is, it just sounds like a woman crying.
Okay, and what does that... Could you just do it real quick? What does it sound like?
You're hearing this sort of soft, like,
Okay,
You've got very good lungs for us to hear that far away, but that's...
okay. All right.
and it just sounds like it's carrying over the wind to you. But you can sort of tell the direction that it's coming
All
from.
right, I guess we should...
Do you want to go up
Go
ahead and see if there's anything there? Or... I can't make the oxen go any faster than they really are. I mean, we trot at best.
Yeah, I'll ride ahead a little ways and see what's up. I get... how dim is it with all this fog? Like, can I see?
You can see.
Okay. And I'm gonna... But before I go, I'm gonna say... Yarfik, if something should happen to me up ahead and I'm incapacitated, I expect you to rescue this group, since you can heal us and use all kinds of divine magic. If this is some sort of undead, you are the best equipped to handle it. And I give him an inspiration die.
Okay. I really expected you to say, like, if something should happen to me when I go up ahead, I expect you to rescue my horse.
And run for
I
there.
feel like that goes without saying. All right, so then I'm gonna ride farther down the road towards the source of the sounds.
Okay.
And I
So-
assume I can tell like when I'm sort of level with it or when I go past it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we're still, like,
Yeah, I mean,
slowly
I'm
moving.
trying to-
Yeah, you
Almost
guys are
like
still,
I
you
can.
haven't stopped. You're still going forward. So Cassian, you jump in Daybreak's saddle and you take off ahead of the group. You ride on for
A
about...
ray of sunlight comes in.
I play a little prank on Olash where I flick her nose and it illuminates. Olash, watch this.
Just like cross-eyed staring.
Don't stare into it. You
All
might
of a sudden
blind
you're just
yourself.
seeing like spots. So Cassian, as you travel ahead, you've been going for about 20 minutes or so, and you're at a point now where you feel like you're even with where it is off the path. And there is actually what looks to be like an old dirt path that goes off from the main road here in that sort of general direction.
I'm going to dismount Daybreak and tie him up to a tree, like right at the corner, basically at the turnoff.
The path that goes off is like large enough that you could travel down on Daybreak. Like it's wide enough that even the wagon could travel.
Yeah,
that way.
but I want to sneak though.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stealthily move down this path.
Stealthily move down the path.
That is a 12 for stealth.
Are you like looking for something in particular, or are you just looking for whatever?
Yeah, just looking around for the source of the sound, essentially.
Okay, then roll perception.
I'm looking for sound.
I'm sorry, we have to pause really quick. Aaron was chewing on one of the pull strings of his sweatshirt, and it got stuck on his tongue. And he attempted to dislodge it from his tongue the same way a dog tries to eat peanut butter.
It's done now. We're all moving on.
Yes,
You just look so
I'm sure it
scared.
won't. I'm sure it won't come up again.
it was Nicole. It was like when you got your arms stuck in your sleeves.
That happens to me sometimes. Weirdly, when stuff like that happens, my immediate thought process is like, well, this is my life now. I just feel like
On
this
your
is permanent. This is a permanent thing. This is...
I was like, oh, he thinks that it's gonna be on his tongue forever.
For a tabletop game, we faced a surprising number of physical challenges during the course of recording.
What was your perception roll?
20.
20.
Not a nat 20, but a 20.
Okay. You begin to traverse this path, which looks like it hasn't been traveled in some time, though it was at one point like a well-maintained road. And you travel down it for maybe a half mile or so until you come to what looks to be a large manor house. It's pretty dilapidated. It looks like it was once very nice. And there are 2 large wooden doors right on the front of it. One is closed, one is open and like hanging off its hinges.
Oh my.
And I'm assuming the sound is coming from within.
Yes.
Okay.
And you also, because you rolled a 20, not a nat 20, but
Right,
a 20
the 20
total.
for
You also hear this like scraping noise.
Is it spooky?
It's pretty spooky, y'all.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back and join up with the rest of the party and report what I've found. So I say,
Tell us all.
there's a rundown manor house up the way. The crying and wailing is coming from within, as well as a strange sort of scraping sound.
Sounds like a haunted house to me.
It does, doesn't it?
Haunted house?
Well, I'm not going to force anyone to come with me, but I
already
would
off
love
and
to
walking.
add Ghostbuster to my list of titles.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
So the whole Scooby gang.
In our
Are you
mystery
guys
machine.
bring it? Yeah, in your mystery machine.
I'm like Daphne plus Velma.
I say
Yeah,
we
I'd
should
see that.
leave the cart and the animals not on the main road, but like we should hide them in the woods like before we approach the manor house.
So you're gonna like travel like say a quarter mile down the road, stash the animals in the wagon, and then go the other quarter mile to
That's
the
my
house.
proposal.
I'm fine with that.
I'm definitely Shaggy.
Yes, yes. I think you're Shaggy and Scooby too.
Shaggy and Scooby.
I think that makes me Daphne.
Scrappy.
No,
No,
I
I'm
think-
Daphne and Velma together.
Oh,
No,
okay.
damn it, I'm Scrappy.
You're Fred for sure, and you're Scrappy for sure. Yeah.
That was perfect.
Okay, so we go up to the manor. I say Jinkies.
I do want to. I want to
Zoinks!
still.
Oh no, that's definitely one of my spells now.
I do want to go a little bit
Spells,
ahead of the rest of the
Jinkies.
group.
Fix your ass cut. You know.
I make sure I'm looking dapper, and my weapons are drawn, but I'm going to sneak a little bit ahead of the group and go. I'm gonna duck through the one that's hanging off its hinges so that I don't have to swing anything open. Should I
Just
reach out?
before you leave the wagon, Beatrice says, "Roo."
Claude just shakes his head.
Yeah. Claude's quiet, but he's very positive. So you're going in
Stealth-wise.
stealth-wise. Cool.
Okay, that's a better one. That's 20 for stealth actually with modifier.
Cool. And
Oh, and
okay.
I'm gonna take my the lit up gold piece that Aaeowyn has cast light on for me, and I'm gonna like flashlight it through a gap in my fingers.
As you
I snuff Olash's
I
nose.
was gonna ask.
oh, you're not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer anymore. So, Cassian, you like walk up to the manor home, sort of press yourself against the wooden door that's still closed, and you peek around inside, and it's pretty dim in there. You can see that like the fog that's outside is inside as well, but you can clearly hear that crying louder. You can also clearly see what the scraping noise is coming from, as there are 2 ghouls that seem to be pawing at skeletal remains in the center of the room.
Okay.
Go
And-
ghouls.
Am I
Ga,
right
ga,
in
ga,
thinking that they have not
ghouls.
noticed me yet?
Not so far as you can tell.
Okay, then I'm going to stealthily back out of the room and tell the others that there are ghouls.
What does a ghoul look like?
Let me.
Is it spooky?
It's like a boil. But
They're. You know what? Even easier. That's what they look like.
Oh, shambly. Oh, okay. Are we changing the map?
It depends. What are you guys gonna do?
I'm right. So you said they're pawing at skeletal remains.
this.
Did you see anything else
Very,
in there?
very spoopy.
Nothing else in there.
No, just the ghouls and what I assume are the remains of their last meal.
These are aberrations on life itself, and they need to be dealt with. And
I-
if anyone else doesn't want to go in, that's fine with me. I need to go take care of this.
No, we should definitely go kill them. Do we know anything about ghouls? Can we make some knowledge checks?
You can roll.
I'll know a good amount about them. Just
You
being a
roll
smart pants.
intelligence.
Advantage for me.
It's intelligence, not arcana or history.
It's not arcana. They're not magical creatures. Yeah, Yarfik, you can have advantage on
Because
the
I'm not
roll.
rolling religion, but
Yeah,
5.
They're not history either. It's just intelligence.
just intelligence.
Okay,
Straight
I
up
get a +5 on
knowledge.
it anyway.
that's an 18.
21.
21, huh? Let me
Wait,
see what you know real
did you
quick.
say gowl or goal or ghoul?
A ghoul?
Oh, I know about ghouls.
All I know about them is that they eat dead things. I assume that's
and
relatively
live
common
things.
knowledge, right?
Yes, that is.
I've heard
relatively
this
common
before, and then I
knowledge.
open my mind book.
You go to the Mind Palace.
Yeah, I go to the memory palace in my head, and then I'm like, oh, ghoul was a thing, and it has a ghoul. No, that's gruel.
Wrong floor. Wrong floor.
I'm looking it up, guys. It's taking me a little bit to scroll. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is connecting.
Here we go. Okay.
Here we go. Okay.
So, ghouls generally roam the night in packs. They are driven by an insatiable hunger for humanoid flesh. Like maggots or carrion beetles, ghouls thrive in places rank with decay and death. A ghoul haunts a place where it can gorge on dead flesh and decomposing organs. When it can't feed on the dead, it pursues living creatures and attempts to make corpses of them.
Okay.
Though they gain no nourishment from the corpses they devour, ghouls are driven by an unending hunger that compels them to consume. A ghoul's undead flesh never rots, and this monster can persist in a crypt or tomb for untold ages even without feeding.
Can you repeat just the
Any
first part
weaknesses or?
Ghouls roam the night in packs driven by
Right.
the insatiable hunger for humanoid flesh.
again? Okay, and I remember Okay, if you fear ghoul attacks, know they roam the night in packs.
And just a couple other things, since you got a 21 total, right?
did, yeah.
Ghouls, you know that they're immune to poison damage, and they are also immune to being charmed.
Okay.
Right, so we can't charm them. Sorry, Cassian.
They don't take extra from Radiant?
They do not.
Okay.
We can't charm or poison them, and they feed on dead things. They like to eat rotting flesh, which is why they're probably pawing at the skeletons right now. But they will attack us when run out of food. They're probably going to come for us.
But I think we're going to attack them anyway.
Oh, great.
Correct?
Cool.
I mean, we want to rid this place of these.
We need
Fiends.
to rid the place of this.
So I'm going to actually sheath my rapier and draw my longbow.
I'm going to step right into the front doorway and just stand in the doorway so I can see in a little bit more.
Okay, well, we're going to need to change a map first.
Changing the map. It's a brand new map.
When your map is old, forget what you're told. You gotta change that.
Change it up.
Ooh, new map.
A grand staircase.
I'm gonna be right behind Yarfik with an arrow notch, ready to shoot.
Oh, so shambly.
Remember, you've got that inspiration die.
I remember.
Do they notice us yet?
They have not seen you yet.
Okay, I yelled
you,
really loud. No, I'm just kidding.
Jinkies!
Hey, ghouls!
you guys will get a round of combat all to your lonesomes.
Great.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait. I assume Yarfik, you're going in hand to hand, or are you gonna sacred flame them, or what?
I'm going to do some sacred stuff, but I don't have good range stuff to work with. Actually, before I do this, before I step around the door there, I'm going to turn to everyone else and gather in the huddle, and I'm going to touch each one of their foreheads and say, peace. And I've cast aid.
Whoa.
So what that does is you each gain your max hit points, go up by 5, and you get 5 temporary hit points for the duration, which is 8 hours.
So
Does
I'm
that
up to
mean
22?
when?
I'm up to
if we're
10.
at max health when you raise
It
our
goes
hit
up
points,
5.
we get okay.
Yes.
You-
So
your
you get
max
5 temporary hit points on top of your maximum.
Well, no, the maximum goes up by 5 as well. So the max gets raised by 5, and then they get 5 temporary hit points.
So I.
Oh, okay. I
8
see.
hours.
I see. For the 8 hours, so you're effectively getting 10 extra hit points right now.
But 5 are temporary and 5 is a max.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. That's awesome.
Sweet.
That's really good for me.
I figured
That's
we
nearly
need that.
half my hit
Okay.
points. I've
That's
gained.
my first second
So
level spell of the day.
that's your action for this
Yeah.
first round.
And then I'm going to turn around and then just take my because I still have movement, so I'll turn around and get back to the door.
So that's Yarfik. We'll just go in the order you guys are standing for right now. So that's Yarfik, Cassian.
Oh well, I was gonna wait if anybody was going to go in hand to hand, I was going to wait and let them get a bit closer to the ghouls before I loosed the arrows.
Okay.
To maximize the amount of surprise that we get.
Okay, so you're going to hold that action.
Yeah.
Olash?
So that would be me.
Yes.
So I should be in front of you?
Yeah.
You were
Yeah,
saying?
go for it.
Okay.
And I'll let you sort of get pretty like about halfway to them before I shoot at them.
Okay.
Do we still hear the crying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not
The
from
crying has
ghouls?
not abated.
Yes.
So sorry, Yarfik, what are you doing?
So I've stepped back to the doorway. I'm about to end. I'm going to use basically my movement to get in if I can. But
Okay, so you guys
Okay.
are both going to go inside and get up close with these ghouls.
Yeah.
Yes, Yarfik, you won't be able to attack this turn because he just cast aid.
I figured we all need
Oh.
a boost.
So that'll use up his surprise round action?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm more than happy to do that though.
All right, then I guess you're leading us off, Olash.
So okay.
Yeah, you're first.
Okay. And I can like go around
Yeah.
Yarfik.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna run as far as I can,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not far enough
And
to
I'm gonna.
attack
You could
them.
rage.
Well,
Do you have
or
a
you could throw a
throwing
hand
axe or
axe.
anything?
That's true. I could. I'll throw a hand axe at this one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot my arrow at the fatter one, the one that Olash is not attacking. Actually,
Okay.
no. Let's
Don't
focus
body
fire.
shame the ghouls.
He's
I
looking for
just
back
figured he's
meat.
more of a threat. No, actually, I'm gonna focus fire on the one that Olash is attacking too.
Okay,
This
cool.
turn.
Well, Olash, roll your attack first.
Okay. 19 plus 6.
That hits.
Okay.
Oh, you're not raging, so it's not a crit.
Ah, damn it. That would have been good. 8.
So you run forward, you let loose with your hand axe, catches the ghoul like right in the shoulder, and it's just like, and they know you're there now.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. That is an 8 for me to attack the ghoul.
8. Okay, so you fire one of your arrows, and it just sails over the ghoul's head and hits the wall behind it. Just does that like,
Okay.
and then Aaeowyn.
I'm going to go in as well. Wait, are you like inside now? Like right there?
That's
I'm like in the doorway basically.
Okay,
shooting
so
at them.
there. So I'll come up
But you can slide around.
just right over there. Nice little pocket. No, behind. 'Cause I'm fragile.
you're a Fraggle.
I'm Fraggle. And then I'll cast. I'll go for magic missile on this doofus, the
Okay.
one who was already hit by.
By Olash.
Olash.
Cool. Go ahead and roll your d4s. Are you doing just a first level?
Yeah, just for a second. Nothing special. 1d4 plus 1 force damage per dart. Cool. 5, 2, 7, 2, 9 damage on that doofus.
Okay. What's the magic word?
Right. Boop boop a doop a
Copyright
Fireball.
Hobson.
That's yeah.
That's
That's
Fireball.
fireball. Oh, so it's just pew pew.
Yeah, it's pew pew.
I thought fireball was poo.
Oh, that's right. It is
Yeah,
poo.
fireball is poo.
Boop, boop, a doop-a-doo
boop, boop, a doop-a-doo was
Something else. We'll have to go back and listen.
We'll go back.
yeah.
for it.
If
something
there's
with my
if there's a
fingers.
listener out there that wants to start a wiki for all of our spell words, that would be really helpful.
Actually, it was finger guns though for magic missiles. Pew pew.
Yeah, it's pew pew.
As long as we're talking about this, I just wanted to put it out there. I've been envisioning that bard magic works a little differently than like wizard magic, and a lot of what Cassian's doing, like his magic is sort of just like an extension of his charisma. He's essentially like beguiling reality into doing what he wants. So like a lot of the times he's just like talking or like saying something in like a dramatic way, and he's just like trying to convince
Yeah.
it to be true.
Yeah.
It
Basically,
wouldn't be a magic word for him.
for mostly, except for
Right.
blaffish, which is already established.
Well, I think I'm totally down with that, but it definitely depends on the spell because there are
okay.
certain things like if you're going to cast lightning bolt, you're not
Right.
compelling the universe to make a lightning bolt appear.
yeah, I mean more for the more bardy stuff.
Hey, Cloud,
Yes,
But like
for
for
bardic
bardic
stuff.
for example, for the way that I envision that is that like I brag about myself and it gives me like a boost. Of
Yeah, no, I think for anything that involves like charisma boosting activities, I'm totally down with
Same
that.
thing for most of like the cleric spells for me. It's like
Yeah.
I have to grab like the channel divinity and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
almost
absolutely.
So 3 magic missiles go sailing over the heads of Yarfik and Cassian. They hit the ghoul on the face, side of the face, and top of the face. And
So
it's like, boop,
get all the face meat.
Yeah.
And it was 9 damage for
9
that
damage
one?
total, yes.
Okay. So that ghoul is like you can see bits of its just this undead like flesh sort of sloughing off of it at the shoulder. It's still moving around and still coming towards you, but it's not looking great. And they definitely both know you guys are all here. And now we can roll initiative.
Ooh, net 20, which actually comes to 24.
Okay.
22. The bad guys.
What did I just roll? I think 14. Do you want me to reroll?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
So Cassian, you're up first.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly notch and fire another arrow at the same ghoul.
Cool.
Oh,
Bad.
Wow.
That is a nat 1.
So you.
I mean, I just rolled a 20 for initiative, though. It's just.
So you notch an arrow and you let it fly, but where you're standing sort of like around the edge of the door, your angle is just off a little bit, and roll damage.
Full longbow damage?
Yeah.
It's coming for you, Olash.
Oh, 4.
Olash, you take 4 points of piercing damage as an arrow hits you in the back meat.
Sorry, Olash.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Zoinks.
Swings indeed.
Yeah.
Yarfik.
I'm going to move my full movement right next to Olash, and
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on that guy. So they need me to make a dex saving throw.
Yep. They are not dexterous creatures.
They take 3 points of radiant damage.
Both of them?
Just him.
Just the one.
Oh.
Okay, so you rush forward, you empty your tankard onto him, or it, I should say.
It's a 60-foot radiant thing for me, too, which is funny. I can get 60 feet out of my tank.
You get a real good arc. And hits it with this radiant energy, and it just sort of is like, makes this horrible noise with its tongue, like very long tongue lolling out as you shush it.
Competitive ale throwing is like a big dwarven sport.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things I was good at.
It's competitive ale throwing and caber tossing.
And ranged ale catching,
Yes.
too. There's
Aaeowyn.
always a dwarf at the other.
Yes, I'm going to go inside, just up the stairs a tiny bit to get a vantage point, and firebolt that guy. Pew! Yes, 17 plus
Yep,
whatever.
that hits.
And then it's a D8 damage.
D10 for fire.
Oh, right. 5 plus anything?
Nope, not plus anything.
Okay.
But it doesn't need to be plus anything. As you go up the stairs to get a better vantage point, you finger gun your firebolt out, and it goes like just right center mass through it, and then it just sort of slumps backward as you can see more of its like decomposing flesh slough off its body. But it goes limp and is down. Next up is Olash.
Alright, I'm gonna step up to the other one and attack with my great axe. So that's 20, not natural.
That hits.
8, so 12.
12 points of damage as you step forward, take a swing, and you cut one of its arms clean off.
I like cutting stuff off.
Yeah.
They don't like it as much, but it's a thing that
then
happens.
They shouldn't be ghouling.
They're shambling around.
Baby, why you ghouling? Well, the ghoul is gonna hit back and start ghouling, and it lunges forward to try and bite at you, but you manage to just like get the handle of your axe into its mouth, so it makes no contact. But otherwise, it is staying put. Cassian.
Okay, are there like penalties for shooting into melee?
So from there, like that ghoul's gonna have 3/4 cover because of how many people are in front of it.
Go up on the staircase here as like and get a better shot, but like just for the fact that he's fighting Olash, does that screw with me?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna shoot him from up there. And that is a 20, not natural.
That hits.
Okay. And that's 4 damage.
Takes 4 damage as this arrow comes flying at it, hits it like right in the side of the head, and it's just got this arrow sort of like sticking out of its head. So it's leaning to the right now. It's got no right arm, just a left arm, and it's got this arrow sticking out of its head, but it's still like on its feet, shambling back and forth, being like making all sorts of horrible noises. Yarfik.
Step up next to Olash, and I'm going to throw it right in his face for another Sacred Flame. So dex save.
Yep.
2 damage.
2 damage as you throw some more searing radiant liquid on him. He's not looking good. This won't take long. Aaeowyn.
Yeah, I'll just cast Firebolt on him. Firebolt over on that doofus
Okay.
over there. Where's my d20? There it is. Pew! 9.
9 does not hit as you
Okay.
just sort of paint a streak on the floor right next to it.
Sorry, guys.
Olash.
Trying something.
I'm just gonna take another swing at him. 18?
That hits.
He did.
6.
6 points of damage as you swing again, and you just sort of like hit a diagonal right from its right shoulder down to the like its
Classic
left
Olash.
hip. Not cleaving it, but opening it up, and just all of its like decomposing organs just come spilling out. It looks like it's deflating almost as it just sort of crumples down onto itself, and the tongue just stops lolling, and then it's still.
It's pretty gross.
I make a sign of a GO over both of them and try to concentrate a little bit.
I say, well fought, everyone. Sorry again about the arrow, Olash.
That's all right. It happens.
It only hit her in the 10 hit points anyway. So
Do we still hear the moaning?
you still hear the moaning. So let's get some perception checks from you guys.
7.
11.
2.
The perception is at 16.
So looking around, you can now take the room in a little bit more clearly. You can see exactly what it is that the ghouls were pawing at, as there are 3 skeletal bodies on the ground right in the middle of this large room. One is on its back looking straight up. It wears what were once very simple functional clothes, though now they look very much worse for the wear. That body has a large great axe lodged in its chest. The axe is double-bladed. It's black as the clear night sky. The color is so dark that you can't even see the join where the blade attaches to the handle.
Wow.
Aaeowyn,
What?
this looks different than any other axe I've ever seen. Can you find out maybe if it's magical or anything about it?
I could try.
Identify it maybe?
Yeah. How many of those do I have in a day? I forget.
You can do two uses of the Arcane Diviner per day.
And we've rested, so you have both back.
Yeah.
I'll just do one. I'll detect magic.
So you cast Detect Magic on it, and this has that aura about it. This is definitely a magical item.
This is a magical axe, for sure.
We should probably take it with us then.
We should identify it first, right? To make sure it's not cursed.
Okay, sure. I'll
So
identify it as
let me give you a little more information
Okay.
first before you get too deep into this. The handle of the axe is about 5 feet long, and about halfway up the shaft of the axe are 2 skeletal hands connected to the other 2 bodies that are lying on the ground. Both of those bodies are wearing much nicer looking clothing, though it matters very little now as they are equally as dead as the other corpse.
Anything your style here, Cassian?
That's all a bit worm-eaten for my
The one with the axe embedded in its chest looks to be male. Of the 2 that are holding on to the axe, one is wearing a dress. You can probably assume that it was female.
Assuming gender, okay.
Yeah. The other one is wearing what is very male styled clothing.
So this, I'll tell you what this looks like to me. It looks like these 2 tried to pull this axe out of the 3rd corpse and died.
So-
Probably due to some sort of curse.
Might not be wise to touch the axe.
True.
And the sobbing is still coming.
Is there anything else around the area?
You rolled a 16.
Yeah.
You sort of inspected the bodies. You hear the sobbing sort of come through the din again. And in looking around, you look up at that balcony overhead, and you can see this sort of pale blue glow. You're not sure what it's coming from, but it's definitely emanating from something that's behind like the balcony wall.
Someone's upstairs.
I move that we investigate some of these side rooms, investigate the downstairs essentially before we move towards the source of that sound. Any information we can gain about what happened here
Or where we are.
would be wise.
I'll keep watch down here to see if anything comes out from side. So who wants to go into the side
so
rooms?
Cassian's gonna go investigate this room over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna again try and go stealthily, and I'm gonna first listen at that door before I.
Okay, so roll a perception check and then roll a stealth check.
Hey,
So that's a 9 for perception.
What's up?
Olash, with your big, strong body, wanna come with me to that one?
Stealth is 18.
You don't hear anything when you put your ear up to the door. It sounds sort of as dead as this house looks, save the sobbing that you hear.
He whispers, "Welcome."
And you slowly open the door. It's not locked. And you look inside, and looking around, you see some display cases off on the far end. You see a desk that's strewn with papers. There's a large painting on the wall behind it that's a portrait of a woman. But I mean, Cassian would hit it.
What else can I tell about her from this portrait? Like a rich-looking lady? I mean, what is...
She looks to be very well off. It's hard to tell much else about her necessarily.
No family crests or anything that I would recognize?
No, nothing really distinguishing like that. But otherwise, you see these display cases all around the room that look to be like filled with antiquities, artifacts.
Anything I'd recognize in the display cases at all, or
Roll perception or roll investigation.
I'm
Rather.
gonna go ahead and do that too.
Sure.
That's a 13 for investigation.
7.
In looking through, I mean, none of these are religious artifacts, so nothing really stands out to you. Cassian, looking through them, you don't see anything that's of particular note to you. I mean, they're all interesting looking items that you're sure like a collector of such things would probably find to be very fascinating. None of them look particularly useful. They're all like, they might as well be tchotchkes for how much use they'd be to any of you.
we might be able to take these and sell them in town later.
Possibly. I want to investigate the papers on the desk though before
Alright,
Okay.
looting anything.
Go ahead and roll another investigation check for the desk.
I'm gonna go stand by the door and
7 for investigation.
A lot of the papers on the desk are just sort of faded and disintegrated from time. It's hard to tell exactly how long this residence has been sitting in this state, but it's been a while. It's hard to really make out anything on the papers, although you can see just on the top of one paper in what you assume is probably the letterhead. You do see the name Odessa Chant.
And that doesn't mean anything to me.
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing
Olash
over
and
here.
I investigate that room.
Okay, into the other room. Go ahead and roll perception.
Perception. Bad.
13.
do you also whisper weapon?
7.
13 and a 7. Are you just listening at the door, or are you just going in and looking around?
What do you want to do, Olash?
I just go in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go in and looking around, you see a number of display cases. This room almost looks like its purpose is just to have these items on display, almost as if it's like a museum space. It does look like it's carefully curated, although similarly you don't see anything that's of like value.
Anything cool? Anything that like I would look at and be like, oh, wow.
So detect magic is still active, as
Oh,
I
great.
believe it lasts for about 10 minutes
Yeah.
or so, and nothing in here has that aura.
Oh,
Do you want to come and scan the stuff in this room too to see if it's magical?
I sprint back and scan everything in this room.
Same. You're not getting anything from that, but that axe is still glowing as brightly as ever to you.
And I go, aww.
I'm gonna just take one more crack at looking through the desk papers before, like, while Aaeowyn is just to see if I can do any better. Wow, that's another 7 exactly.
Okay.
Nope. Still just that one name, Odessa Chant.
Let's
Yeah.
check out that blue glow, huh?
I guess so.
Alright,
So let's go up the right staircase.
No. Left.
So
And by the way, I'm putting away my longbow and taking out my rapier and shield.
Oh, I grabbed my hand axe out of that.
yeah, you can retrieve your hand
and I'm
axe.
gonna leave it always.
Wait, I don't think we're gonna just like charge right up and blunder into this blue glow.
You're not
We're
going to
see when we
become
get
a
to the top of
hurricane.
A Katamari.
Um,
So what do we notice when we get up to the top?
So, ascending the stairs, you see a pale, translucent figure slumped against the wall in the middle of the balcony. Looks to be a female elf, and she is just sobbing.
Does she look ghostly or just?
Can I
Very much so.
cast Charm person on a ghost.
It's an elf.
An elf is a type of person.
Elves can't be charmed.
You
right.
you can try.
I'm gonna check with the group, and Aaeowyn points out
Yeah.
to me that elves can't be charmed. So
You can try it, but elves can't be charmed.
okay, I don't try that.
I'm gonna walk up and ask what's wrong.
I'll go with her.
So,
Close behind.
as you approach, as soon as you get to be within about 10 feet of her or so, she stops crying, turns around very quickly, and says, "Who are you? Are you here to rub it into? Odessa Chant dips a pen in the company ink and turns it all to shit. Go away! I'll not be chided by you." She turns around and begins to just slowly like float down.
I say
Yeah.
we aren't here to lecture you or to. It's nothing to do with your business at all. We simply heard your crying, and we thought you might be in distress. Is there any aid we can give you?
She continues to float along, and she just sort of starts muttering. She says, "Undelivered. Undelivered. keep work at work.
If I know anything about ghosts, they're ghosts because there's unfinished business and something might be undelivered that we might want to deliver.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the door to this room that's right here and see what's inside.
I'm gonna follow her down the hall.
So opening up the door to that room, it looks to be a relatively lavish bedroom in a state of disrepair, certainly, as much of the rest of the house.
Okay. Like parcels or items that look out of place in a bedroom?
Nope.
Excuse me, I yell in Common and then also in Elvish.
Mm-hmm.
You want something delivered? And then in Elvish. You want something delivered?
And she turns around sort of with a start, and you can see her face sort of like come into focus almost as if she's sort of coming in and out of clarity. And she says, "Yes, I want it delivered. It wasn't delivered, and I never got the chance because of."
Because of what?
And she just sort of looks mournfully down at the three bodies.
Was that axe by any chance what you were supposed to deliver?
She looks at you and just scoffs and goes, "It was on display."
Dear lady, perhaps we can help you find where it went, and so you might have a chance then, but you're not here right now.
Yarfik. I don't know if that's the best thing to tell
Yeah,
her.
I'm gonna back away while he's trying to convince this ghost that she's dead. And I'm gonna look in this smaller room up here.
I want to help you as much as I can, though.
She turns around and starts muttering again, and she says, "Yes, help is helpful. It's all behind me now. Everything is behind me."
Okay. And she's over here, so maybe the delivery is in one of the rooms
Yeah,
back
I'm
at the end of the
And
hallway.
as she floats along, she begins to disappear into the balcony, presumably coming out below.
Should I follow her, or should we look around up here first?
She disappears downward.
Yes.
Cassian wants to investigate this room here at the end of the hallway. The opposite end from the ghost.
That one right there?
Yeah.
Going in, it looks to be another bedroom. This one looks
falling
like
down
a servant's
below.
quarters of some kind.
Okay.
I'm going to investigate that one.
That one looks like a guest bedroom.
A guest bedroom.
It looks,
Okay. I take a nap.
Okay. Go for it.
No,
Return
just
to
kidding.
spells.
Yeah.
Go into your trance.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll look in this room here.
That room seems to be a bedroom as well. It seems to be all sleeping quarters on
And
this
again,
floor.
nothing seems out of the ordinary for a bedroom, nothing wrapped up for delivery.
Nope.
I'm gonna
No parcels.
I'm going down after her. Let's see
Yeah, I'll follow
what's
you.
going on here. So I'll descend the staircase.
We can use her actual mini instead of a die.
Oh, we have a minute. Oh shit!
Nice.
Oh
that's so
no.
cool.
That's actually really cool.
Olash is crawling. Olash jumped the balcony but landed funky on her ankle. So she is. You guys all descend the stairs and you meet her sort of on the bottom level there, and she's still sort of floating along, but she's not moving aimlessly. Like it looks like she's kind of moving with purpose in a direction, and she's still saying, undelivered. I keep. Where is it? I keep work at work, and it's all behind me now. Lock it, unlock it, lock it, unlock it, lock it, unlock it. Undelivered.
Can I ask, can you remind me what the skeleton with the axe in its chest looked like?
The skeleton with the axe in its chest looked to be male, wearing like very simple functional clothes.
Can I tell the difference between an elf skeleton and a human skeleton?
You can roll investigation.
I just want to see if any of these people look like elves. Oh man,
No, I look
that's
at
a
the
3.
female, the bedressed skeleton and see, is she wearing a locket?
Roll investigation.
Yeah. Yes. I have a 17 plus whatever. 3, so 20.
Yeah, investigating this.
No, I'm not super touching anything.
Yes, no, I understand that. The corpse, you can see that there is a silver chain sort of peeking out from around her neck, and you're Not sure exactly what it might be attached to, as it's under the front of the dress. You'd have to actually interact with the corpse.
I would like to take this time to use identify on the axe.
Okay.
Identify the magic.
So,
Do I have to roll or something?
no, you don't have to
No,
roll
okay.
for it. So you take the Arcane Diviner out once again, and you use the second charge of it to cast Identify, and
This one's for you, Fizzweave.
that same purple arc of energy goes between the forks at the end of it as you just touch it to the axe, and all of a sudden just the information like downloads to you. This axe is called Misery.
Oh, shooby dooby. Jinkies, guys, jinkies.
Mechanically, it is a great axe. So it acts as a great axe. But it does, instead of just doing D12, it does a D12. Hold on, it does D12 plus 4 damage.
Wow.
So it's a plus 4 great axe. But what is particularly special about this axe, and you can actually see it now in the purple light that the Arcane Diviner gives off, there are runes that go down the shaft. They were imperceptible before, but in this sort of magical light you can see them. And they say in Elven, they say misery loves company. And you know there is one other property of this axe, which is that while it does a great amount of damage, it also deals 1/4 of the damage dealt to the wielder.
I see. Okay, so touching it would not harm us.
No.
Okay, great. Then, okay, so I relay that information
Okay.
to Olash because I feel, listen, it's a great axe. It does more damage than your current great axe, but it also deals 1/4 damage that you deal to you.
Actually, you said it does 1d12 plus 4,
Yes.
so it does the same amount of
Oh.
No.
But you still add your strength.
You add your strength and
Oh,
proficiency
okay.
on top
Sorry,
of
didn't
that.
hear that part. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, it's up to you, Olash, if you want to use it.
We can also take
I
it in
think-
the bag of holding, but we should deal with her.
Even if you don't end up wanting to use it, it seems I have to imagine that any kind of collector of magical artifacts and antiquities would probably purchase it.
Oh,
so it's
sure.
worth taking one way or the other.
It's also worth noting that it does qualify as a magic weapon,
Yeah.
so enemies that can only be damaged by magic weapons.
Yeah, let's grab it.
I'm gonna turn to the elf woman and I ask, pardon me, good lady, is this chain here what you use to lock and unlock the item?
So she's not with you guys in the center. She's still floating in that same direction, which is sort of to this corner of the
Can
the
I
bottom floor
get her
over here.
attention and point to the chain? That's,
You can try roll persuasion, see if you can rally her. 10. So what are you saying to her?
I'm saying, my good woman, can I ask, is this chain here what you use to lock and unlock the item? Perhaps we could assist you.
She just continues to say, "Lock it, unlock it, lock,
Is
Is
lock
there anything
it."
near her that she's over, or is it she's going back and forth to? Or?
She is like slow beelining for the door to that room.
Which room? This one?
That one over there.
I'm going to tentatively go for the locket. If we go for the chain, like, I'm going to keep my eyes on her to see if she reacts, but I'm going to take
Okay.
the locket. I'm going to pull the chain out, see what's attached to it.
So you very gingerly reach and grab the chain, sort of slip it like around the skull as well as you can, and pull it out from under the front of her dress. And it is in fact a silver locket.
Yeah.
And opening it up, on one side of it is a picture of a woman. It's the same picture as the portrait that was in that room. And in the other side, sort of inset in the metal, is a key.
Great. I take out the key. Did we see anything with a lock on it? Did anybody?
I don't
Not
remember.
so far.
We don't?
But it's possible that a more thorough search of this room would reveal something.
At this point, she's made it to the door, and she's incorporeally phased through it.
We follow her.
That
Yeah.
room here.
Let's all tumble on it.
It's important to note that the group moves like someone mixing salad with their hands.
We're just a tumble and tumbleweed.
So she is, at this point, just sort of slowly circling this room, continually saying, like, that I keep my work at work, and it's all behind me now. Everything's behind me.
Are there locks on the display cases?
No.
Nope.
No. It's all behind her. There's a portrait of her in here.
Oh!
Yeah.
Ah, very good. Very good, Yarfik.
Okay.
I'm intelligent sometimes.
I mean, it was bound to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Can I
Spark
ask,
of inspiration.
does Yarfik still have his inspiration die at this
Does Yarfik still has his? Yeah, sure.
Doozy Yarfik.
I think maybe perhaps you, Yarfik, should be the one to check behind the portrait as the best equipped to deal with it if she should become hostile.
I'm more than happy to do so.
So go ahead and roll. We'll roll investigation first on the portrait.
I flick the key like a coin flip.
That is a 5.
5. So
I can't find the edge.
you go to investigate the
Hold on,
portrait.
hold on. I can use my inspiration.
You can. Yeah.
No.
Okay,
I'll
well,
hold
it's
it.
no, it's up to you. It's up to you.
I'll
it's up
hold
to
it.
you.
I'll hold
It's
it.
a 9.
You go to investigate the portrait, and in sort of trying to like fiddle with it, you break it off the wall. Once you get it off the wall, you can see there were actually hinges behind it. It was meant to swing out, but you just like you're trying to adjust it, and you just rip it off, and now you have this portrait in your hands.
I hand it to Cassian.
And you hand it to Cassian, who takes it.
See, my confidence was misplaced.
and lo and behold, on this sort of like there's this lighter area of the paint on the wall behind it because it was covered, and there's a safe inset in there.
May I have the key, Aaeowyn?
I think she already said she flicked
Okay.
it
Yeah,
to
she
you.
flicked
So
it to
then
you.
I'll put the key into the lock.
I'm putting the painting down.
Open it.
Okay, so you put the painting down, you put the key in the lock. As you turn the key and open it, the ghost, her attention like just sharply turns to you, and her visage grows.
Three sizes that day.
No, it doesn't grow bigger, it just grows darker. And all of a sudden, the sobbing and the muttering that you were hearing before stops. The sound drowns out of the room a little bit, and you hear thieves!
I say, no, Lady Gant, we are merely here to assist you in your delivery. Chant. Lady Chant.
And she immediately dives at Yarfik, attempting to lay her hands upon you, but you are able to duck out of the way. And now we need to roll initiative.
Yeah.
What was in the safe again?
We haven't seen it.
haven't
I
seen it. We
just
just
opened the
opened
door.
Okay.
8. Oh no,
12.
9.
15.
8.
So first up is Olash.
So I have that magical great axe.
Yes, you have misery.
Misery. It's gonna murder me slowly.
It's gonna kill you softly with its song.
Just like sings quietly. That's a bad song.
Yeah.
I just take damage. All right. So she's like clearly
Oh, sorry, she's right up on Yarfik. If you can move her over, there you go.
like gonna attack him.
She is already attacked him.
Attacking-
She just
attacked
did
him.
not
Okay.
make contact.
All right. So I'm gonna go up to her and try to hit her with the misery. Hit her with the misery. So that's 16.
16 hits.
All right.
So go ahead and roll damage. So D12
So
plus
10,
your damage modifiers
16.
plus another 4.
20.
20.
So 20 damage as you roll up with your brand new axe and you swipe at her ethereal form, and the noise that emanates from her as the axe passes through her is it hurts you in your brain. Everyone around can hear this sort of like psychic shriek that she lets forth as she takes a whole lot of damage right away. And just as that damage is dealt, you feel this sort of slashing pain around your heart as you take 5 points of slashing damage.
All right.
Rad.
Cassian.
Okay, I'm gonna say, Lady Chant, you've already failed at your life's work. If you keep this up, you'll fail at your death as well. And I have vicious mockery here.
Okay.
Mock the ghost.
She rolled a nat 20.
Okay, she saves.
Are you gonna move, staying put?
I
I like that Aaeowyn is facing the wall right now. I just want
Is
to
there
point
anything
that
I'm
out.
going to be able to do physically because I do not have any magic weapons, so I'm good where I am. I think.
Okay.
You know, if you can't see the ghost can't see
That's
you.
true, yes. I
guess I'm
forgot
gonna
about the
just
ostrich
get
theory.
as much in front of Aaeowyn as I can, like just try and get between the ghost and her.
Okay. Aaeowyn, it's your turn.
Yeah, can I do, can I use, do I know which spells would work on a ghost and which wouldn't?
Roll intelligence. Let's see if you've read a book about ghosts.
11.
You know certain things.
Yes.
You know that you're not going to be able to restrain a ghost
Right.
or knock it prone.
Yes.
You know that they can't be grappled or paralyzed or charmed. But outside of that, you're unsure of what specific types of damage it can or cannot sustain. Outside of, magical weapons will do more damage than non-magical weapons.
Aside from weapons, but I don't know about magic spells.
Sorry,
Correct.
does that mean non-magic weapons still do some damage?
They still do some damage.
Interesting.
Oh, then I would assume regular spells do some kind of damage as well. So I'm going to go for... I'm going to turn the beat around.
Love to feel percussion.
I love to feel percussion. And I'm going to try for Ray of Frost one more time,
Okay.
because it's cool. I was practicing in the carriage, and I do unnat 20.
Okay.
Wait, it's +5 from the attack modifier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then unnat 20.
Okay, let's go ahead and roll damage.
Yes, that is... Oh, I don't know what the damage is.
It's a D8.
A D8, okay. Oh wait, really? Then why would I cast that instead of...
It
Well,
does also
what's
slow them
nice,
down.
it reduces their movement speed by 10 feet per round.
Oh, okay, I get it. 4. Plus anything?
4. Nope, just
Okay.
4. So you raise your hand and you fire a frost bolt directly at the ghost. It hits her center mass. Doesn't seem like it has any effect, though. It almost seems like she just absorbs it, almost as if she's immune to cold damage.
Oh, wow.
I finally catch it. It doesn't do anything. I'm able to... Darn it.
Yarfik.
Cast it right. It doesn't...
Bad luck. Does
I
it still
s-
slow her down?
No. Of course it doesn't. Ray of Frost. Why would I think that would work?
I say, Cassian,
Yes.
grab what's in the safe,
Okay.
and then I'm going to try to get her attention, and I'm going to cast Compel Duel on her. And then I'm going to move.
She rolled a nat 20.
Jesus Christ. All right. I'm still going to... Then I can't do an action to reach into the safe because I'm there, so I'm going to back away and get right next to Olash.
It is Odessa Chant's turn. All of you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Whoa.
12.
8.
11.
Sorry. That is a 20.
20.
Not natural.
Okay.
Use my braggers with
12, you got an 8, Aaeowyn. Okay.
Oh, no.
So, Yarfik, you are fine. You have overcome this ghost's horrifying visage. Cassian and Olash, you are both now frightened. So you are frightened for 1 minute, which means that I have all the stuff right here, and I can actually use it now. Yay for new things. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within its line of sight. And that creature, you cannot move closer to the creature that you are frightened of willingly.
Do I get to make... Will we get to make other
You get to
saves?
save at the end of your turn. Now, Aaeowyn, since you failed by 5 or more versus the DC, you are frightened. You are also aged by 30 years.
Oh,
Are
oh
you
my god.
serious?
Yes.
What?
So,
That's not a ton of time for an elf, is it?
Wow.
I mean, for an elf, it's a relative drop in the bucket, but if you were 80 before, you're now 110.
I get that, yeah.
So it's not like permanently.
Oh my god.
That's so funny.
So,
I've been in school for so long.
Yeah.
so it's there aren't a lot of there are no sort of outward physical manifestations of this. It's not like you suddenly have like a gray streak in your
No.
hair, but yeah, you are now 110.
Great. I mean, that's not huge for an elf, so I'm okay with that.
I mean, it may have other ramifications down the road, but for now,
30 years of my life.
that
This is ridiculous.
That is that.
You still look good for 110.
Thank you, Yarfik.
And that is, and she's going to back into the corner right there, yeah. And that's the end of her turn. So Olash.
I'm sorry, can you read the frightened thing again?
A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within its line of sight. The creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
So I can't get closer to her.
Correct.
Okay. I'll throw a hand axe at her.
30 fucking years.
That's
least you're an
insane.
elf.
That's
And I have
insane.
It's ridiculous.
Correct.
Imagine if you were a human, though. That
I
would-
know.
Yeah. So that's 10.
10. Okay, so you throw a hand axe and it just sort of clatters against the far wall harmlessly.
Okay.
Cassian.
This shit just got real as far as Cassian's concerned. Now it's a threat to his good looks. So he is, even though I'm sure he would be a very distinguished older gentleman.
Oh, I'm sure he would rock the salt and pepper look.
He is going to use Dissonant Whisper. So I turn towards Lady Chant and I just say, hush, and ripple a wave of soul-scarring psychic energy at her.
Okay. Is it psychic damage?
If she fails her save, she has to make a wisdom save, and it is 3d6 psychic damage.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the DC?
13.
She rolled an 18.
Damn it. Okay, and I'm gonna also use my bonus action to say, wait, did Olash, you didn't make your save at the end of your last turn, right? Or did you?
Oh no, that's right. You can save against the frightened condition at the end of your turn.
Disadvantage on that too?
No, you're not at disadvantage on the saving throw.
And it's a wisdom?
Correct. Nope, you're still scared.
Okay. I am going to say, Olash, you're the bravest person I know. You can do this. You can put this ghost out of its misery with misery. You can put misery into the ghost to put it out of its misery, and I give her a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then Cassian, you have to roll to save as well.
Wisdom save. Ooh, 17.
Yes, so you have conquered your fear. You are no longer frightened. So on your next turn, you'll be able to move. Next up is Aaeowyn.
None of them were facing me, so I just said, guys, I just aged 30 years. So this is terrifying. I'm going to stay back here. I'm going to just hope that magic missile hits, and that doesn't require disadvantage or anything because it just automatically.
No, it does not require any disadvantage. You can
So 3d4
plus 1 on each.
1 on each. Yeah. 9.
And you added the 3.
Oh, plus 3. 12.
So you say your pew pew.
Pew pew.
And
oh no, I go pew pew because I'm scared.
And the 3 white hot darts form above you, one over each shoulder, one over your head, and they all turn at the same moment, zoom forward, and hit her sort of in her ghostly chest. You can see that definitely hurt her.
Good.
Yarfik.
I am going to move probably right here. Sorry, I'm gonna stay right here, and I'm just gonna Sacred Flame her in the face. She needs to make a wisdom save.
I'm freaking
Sorry,
tired.
dex save.
Oh, I'm gonna
Dex
do
save.
my wisdom saving throw too to get unstuck.
Correct. Yes, you need to unscrew
don't do
yourself.
it.
Okay.
Dex saving throw.
That is 19.
That's my DC.
Are you going to move at all?
I'm going to interpose myself between her and Olash.
Aren't you frightened?
No, I.
No,
Oh,
he's the
you're
only
not
one who
frightened.
saved out of it.
Right.
So, she is going to dive at you, Yarfik.
Yep.
You need to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh no, his charisma's 5.
Actually, I have a better saving throw with charisma than that because I'm a cleric. That is a 15.
15. So, she passes through you, and you can feel this pull at your mind as if something's trying to push it out of the driver's seat, essentially.
God.
Is he gonna get mind controlled again?
But but it is your will is just too strong, and she's unable to take control as she passes through you. You do feel this very cold shiver pass through your body, and there's like ectoplasm on you.
I've taken colder showers in the monastery.
Olash, you are up next, and you are still frightened.
Yeah, well, now that there's not really anything I can do. Like,
You don't have any other ranged attacks?
well, I have another hand axe, but Yarfik is right in front of me.
Well, actually, technically, she just passed through Yarfik, so she'd be right between you and Yarfik. So you could melee.
with
What kind of showers
misery.
is this?
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
can add your inspiration die to an attack roll if you want, and you can wait to see like what you get on it before you decide.
But you still are attacking with
That
disadvantage.
is also true.
Thank you.
So 6. I don't want to use the inspiration die
Okay.
for that.
So you take a swing with misery, but it's just like she's right there. You saw her just pass through Yarfik, and that is terrifying to you as a concept. So it's a very half-hearted swing, and you just don't make any contact with it. And now you can save, or make your attempt to save.
God damn it!
No.
You're still scared, Cassian.
Okay, I am once again gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on the ghost. I'm just gonna say blah, blah, blah. Get that psychic damage out.
What's the DC?
13.
13. Is it Wisdom?
Wisdom, yes.
11.
That is 12 damage.
12 damage. Man, how
She
many of
does also
you?
have to flee. It's not a fear effect. It's like from the pain of it, she has to like flee from the source of the pain.
Man, how many of you can say you whispered a ghost half to death today? As you say that again, you say Blaffish, and this sort of black smoke pours out of your mouth, akin to the power that you're unleashing, and it zooms forward and just sort of like merges with her form, and you can see this inky blackness sort of in the interplay of this like shining blue color that she is, as she starts to like jerk uncontrollably, almost like in these very uncomfortable looking ways, like her head like to the right once, and then like her arm goes up to her head as if she's trying to come to terms with something that's going on inside of her.
Almost like cut like film out of it, like almost like
Almost, yeah, like very jittery. And then she, with a start, flies through the wall to her right, back into the main room.
No.
Does Olash get an opportunity attack?
Do I get an opportunity attack?
Olash, you would have an attack of opportunity, still with disadvantage.
Okay.
And Yarfik, you would have an attack of opportunity, but you haven't taken out one of your weapons yet.
No, I haven't.
So it would just be an unarmed attack.
Punch. Punch a ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost puncher.
Ooh, 18.
Disadvantage.
Yeah, I know, but that's still good.
Hopes are
So
high.
hopefully I roll a 19 or a 20.
No, an 8.
I rolled a
Darn it.
5.
So
That's plus
Yarfik
6, right?
and Olash,
Well, yeah, so 8, that's what, 14?
And you could have the die if you wanted to.
I'm gonna use it.
Oh no. Oh darn it.
So
15.
15.
okay, well her AC's 11.
Oh.
You didn't even need it.
Need it.
So Yarfik, you see her get ready to flee, and you turn to hit, but you just end up like punching the wall. as you go for like part of her makes it through the wall, and you were aiming for that part.
You just
But
tried to punch a ghost, yeah.
Olash, did you roll damage?
So
Oh wow, that's good.
20 again.
20 again as you swipe at her, and it looks like you actually cut part of her ghostly form off.
Yes.
As you again take 5 points of damage. You feel that sort of like slashing pain around your heart and your chest.
You were only scared because you were worried you weren't going to be able to sever anything. That's your MO.
And she still disappears through the wall. You hear sort of a crash on the other side.
Grab what's in the safe.
Yeah,
I'm going after her.
Okay, I run up to the safe and look inside.
Are we still in initiative order?
We are gonna keep initiative order for right now, just for the sake of figuring out who's doing what when.
Okay, then it is Olash's turn before me.
Yeah. So you're.
Oh wait, sorry,
No,
that was
you
my
just did
turn.
dissonant
Sorry,
with
that was
my
your
turn.
turn.
It's mine.
Oh,
It's
but I do
Aaowyn's
have a
turn.
move action, so
Yes,
I
you
actually
can
can
move
run.
up there and.
She's in an
Start
unknown
moving
place
inside.
in there.
Correct.
Okay, so I will not go into that room because I'm still scared, and I'll just go to the safe. I found the key. I'm going to the safe. Okay. I'm gonna open it up and look inside.
So looking inside, you see. I gotta get my notes.
Even though I'm still super scared.
It's a skill.
Yeah, but this is looking for clues and books and things, which is like here.
Yeah, maybe there's a book in the safe.
You see 3 items inside the safe, along with a piece of paper.
I take the piece of paper.
The piece of paper looks like a bill of lading or a receipt of some kind, something that was supposed to accompany the delivery. And it says that these items were actually meant to be delivered to Blackbeak Academy,
Oh.
specifically to a professor. Oh, I wrote it down somewhere. Specifically to a Professor Quinten Thrail.
How do you spell Quinten Thrail?
Quin *TEN space THRAIL.
Do I know him?
You've heard the name. You've never taken a class
Okay.
with him, but you've heard the name.
Can I look on Rate My Professor real quick? Is it any chili peppers?
He's real stingy about timeliness. If you show up late to class, you're gonna get an earful.
It's not a problem with me. And then the items.
And then the items, there are 3 of them. There's a sort of a dully jeweled snake skull,
Whoa.
a clay pot, and a fossilized leaf.
Well, very interesting. You guys, there's some stuff in here. I'm out of identification magic stuff. The arcane divine is all out. I'm just gonna put that in my bag of holding because that's supposed to go to Blackbeak.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we'll drop it off on our way.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess. Oh no, it's not my turn.
Yarfik?
You leave your business card in the safe.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm at the door. Can I see her?
So you can't see her, but you can hear sobbing.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to dash out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What do I see?
You see her sort of floating over the three bodies, just head in her hands, sobbing, just saying over and over, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Milady, it was not your fault. We're here to help you, but you've got to tell us what we need to do.
She turns to you as if she almost forgot there were people there, and she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. This is all my fault. I ruined everything again. I just want to see my business done."
Let us know what it is so we can help you finish your business.
I was a collector, and I would get items for people and procure them and have them seen to and cared for and delivered.
And the things in there were meant for Blackbeak Academy?
Blackbeak? Yes, Blackbeak.
We're going there. We can take them for you. Let us be your delivery boys.
She looks at you and says, You'll make my final delivery.
We'll get them to your final destination.
She rolls her eyes.
She rolls her eyes. They roll around several times. They're not really tethered to anything.
That's horrible.
And she...
I promise you in the light of Aegea, we will get them where they're meant to go. But you need to go.
She says, thank you. I feel I'll know when it's done. And then she disappears into the floor.
I think it's over, folks.
Yeah, I'm assuming I was already walking back out.
Yeah, you guys would have come out in the space of that conversation.
He left his business card in the safe as like a gentleman thiefly kind of way. Like,
yes.
Through that entire conversation,
I scrolled. I added a ghost killer onto her.
Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Ghost
so
whisper,
she has.
no, ghost whisper.
Because you dissonantly whispered to a ghost. So she has disappeared into the floor. We're out of a combat of any kind.
I'm not scared anymore.
Yeah. The frightened effect is done.
We need to take what
But you're still 30 years older.
I hate that.
Does Lesser Restoration get rid of that?
Lesser Restoration will not get rid of that.
Damn it.
I'm sure somebody at the Blackbeak will know what to do.
We need to bring what she had there
Yeah.
to Blackbeak.
I've got it. We're going to Blackbeak,
Yeah, I know.
so
But we need to-
I'll deliver it to Keen Time.
I'm going to go over to the three bodies on the floor and kind of try to put them in a better position and say a little word of consecration over them and give them a proper burial, basically.
So you sort of.
I mean, we can bury them if you want. I don't know if you know this, but I am an expert.
vertical tunneling.
It's all a subset of tunneling. Every hole is a tunnel.
Probably not the worst idea.
I guess so.
And you don't have to look at me. The ghost is gone. This is just you guys chatting.
Let's do that.
Bring them outside, bury them.
So you bring them outside, and you find a nice place in the garden.
mist.
Yeah, in the misty garden, and you bury the bodies.
Say a few words.
I say, we knew you're not in life, but I hope that in death you find respite, repose, and move on to where you were meant to go in your journey.
Yeah, have fun out there.
I don't know.
What do you say in these things?
Follow the light.
Yeah.
We'll take you home.
Yeah, follow the light, we'll take you home. They're dead, but
We're not taking. I didn't say we were taking them home. I said they can go. It's a whole thing of following the light. I'll explain it on the way. Oh,
Okay.
God.
Great, I flick Olash's nose.
And then Olash is like, "No, I'm blinded by the light."
Olash, follow the light.
Oh, Lord.
She's just revved up like a deuce now.
Because it keeps moving.
It's following you.
So you all gather yourselves and you make your way, after having dug these graves, you make your way back to your wagon and your animals.
Sorry, I smell like fear and death. Daybreak. We were just laying some troubled souls.
I walk up to Olash and I put my hand on her and I go, "You are very brave in there. Well done." And I cast Cure Light Wounds on you. You get 12 hit points back.
12?
That's pretty cool.
Whoa, that's great.
5 of that was temporary though, so you're back up to You should be back up to 5
But we
more
get
than
those
your
for
max.
Yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
essentially,
you
till you
but
bed
the
down
5
for
temporary
rest.
don't come back.
Yeah.
So you go up to more than 5 more than your max.
Okay.
So 38.
Okay. But I'm only getting 12 from 29. So.
Oh, I thought you only lost.
No,
10,
you're getting 12 from 29, so you're getting 39.
Oh no, because you lost some from Cassian too.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
right now. We can
filled
figure the
I
math out
filled you
later.
up. I filled you up.
Yeah, you're filled up.
When an ambush.
All of a
a
sudden,
bunch of naked bandits jumped out of the trees.
A bunch? There were only 3. They brought friends and they're
no,
all
they
naked.
recruited more naked bandits. So you head back to the wagons, the wagon, and the horse and oxen,
Hello,
and
Beatrice. Hello, Claude.
they at you, and
Bless you.
daybreak like whinnies when you come up, and you sort of saddle up and get moving on your way. As you get back to the main road, you could swear the mist is dissipating a little bit.
I kind of crack a wry smile, just kind of knowing.
Until you've sort of traveled as much as you're going to be able to travel for that day. You once again make camp, start a fire, feed the animals, and anybody want to do anything before bedding down for the evening?
Say a prayer for her soul to you.
Say a little prayer for her.
I again snuff out Olash's nose. And I prestidigitation Yarfik away from so that he's no longer covered in ectoplasm. I forgot to do that earlier.
It's okay.
He's been driving the wagon the entire time, just
Drenched in
covered in
salt.
this like blue translucent goo.
Blue translucent.
I'm gonna ask Olash if she can teach me any of the songs from her band. You can jam a little. Do you know the chords or whatever? Or you
She just, oh yeah, I'll teach you, and then she just played the tune.
Okay, no, I got it.
You guys sound amazing back there.
Do a music arcana check.
And
We work
you
on
guys,
flicking lights again.
yeah, you jam into the night. Aaeowyn provides pyrotechnics with Firebolt and Ray of Frost.
I'm not trying to entertain you, but you guys find it very entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm just practicing.
Yeah,
I'm just humming along from the front.
and eventually you.
Are we about to rest?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna cast mirror image on myself just for fun.
Okay.
Because I've not had the opportunity to do that yet.
Did you put anything into your spell storing ring yet?
I did, but I didn't use it. I there was no reason to really.
What are you hanging on to?
I
Just
had
out of curiosity.
I had a mirror image, a thunder wave, and a scorching ray.
Ooh.
So you cast mirror image on yourself, and all of a sudden, a spitting image of Aaeowyn.
3 spitting images.
That's right. 3 spitting images of Aaeowyn appear.
Backup singers?
One on each side of you and one directly behind you.
Yeah, you can harmonize with yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We just do.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
And just as they all appear, Cassian looks at you and says, "Jerkin," just to see how 4 of them respond all at once.
Gross!
And it's like the word "gross" in stereo.
God, that's so why would you? That's so rude. That's disgusting. A disgusting word.
And you all have a good hearty laugh as you bed down for the evening, and that's where we'll end this episode.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. You can follow us on all the things at IWVTcast, and you can check out the other great podcasts from Puma Knife at teampumaknife.com. They just launched a new one called Subtle Interference. Give it a listen. Our live shows on November 3rd at CarnageCon are fast approaching. If you haven't already registered, you'll have to wait till the day of, but rest assured that you will not be disappointed. We will be bringing both the noise and the funk. If you'd like to support the show, please review us on your podcast platform of choice. It helps expose us to more people, in the good way, not the trenchcoat way. If you really want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/IWVTcast and slip us some digital bills. Your patronage helps us upgrade our equipment and deliver you a better show, so you're really doing it for yourself. Our theme music is Overworld by Kevin MacLeod. You can check out all of his work at Incompetech.com. Tune in next time as the party makes it to Blackpeak Academy and explores Aaewyn's old stomping grounds. We'll see you on the next episode of Improvised Weapons. This has been a Puma Knife production.